Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Behind me I've got the 6x6 Expedition truck, and I want to show you my 5 favorite things about this truck. Here pretty soon we'll have a full build overview done of this truck where we show you everything it took to make it and everything about it, all the features. But today I just wanted to show you 5 things that stand out to me and make this truck more enjoyable for me to use. All right, so let's start right here on the side of the truck, and I think it's my very favorite thing, especially when it comes to cooking out of this truck. So right inside this storage box here on the side of the truck is a full-size Camp Chef smoker. So it's on sliders, so you just pull down these little levers. Smoker comes out like that, and this thing is really easy to use. So all you got to do is take the cord from the side over here. There's an outlet tucked away in the back of this compartment here, and so you literally just turn the smoker on. It's electric, so this is an electric pellet grill. So you plug it in using power, and this thing has so much solar it can power these just fine. It's going to pull the most amount of power on the startup of this when this grill is trying to get going, and then once it's up to temperature and running, it uses very little power. So once you've plugged it in, all you do is you come right here onto the Camp Chef control panel, you flip it on, set your temperature, set your smoke level, and then let it start up and get up to temperature just like you would a regular grill. And then the only other thing you have to do to get this thing running is it takes pellets because it's a pellet grill smoker. So here on the side, this opens up, and then you just add pellets. You can keep a bag of pellets here on the side in the storage box. There's plenty of space for it next to the smoker. And then that's all you need to run a full-size smoker out of an Expedition truck. So smoking stuff on a smoker is already something I love to do at home. So when I'm able to do that when we're out camping and on different kinds of trips, it's just an added bonus because it's something I already like to do. And it's really super easy. The other way to cook is we have a 2-burner induction stove inside, and I avoid using that at all costs. Even though they're very simple, sometimes we'll use that to cook sides or whatever, but food just tastes so good when you do it on the smoker, and you can smoke like literally anything. You can smoke briskets and tri-tips, you can do burgers, and you can even do like desserts like cookies, and you can do things like pizzas. I won't sit here and list because you can literally cook anything you would ever want on here. So these are really nice to have, especially when you're camping. Most of the time you have some downtime, so it's nice just to be able to throw a tri-tip or throw something on the smoker and let it cook, and then be able to enjoy really good meals outdoors. And then it's super easy to put away. Slide the sliders in and close the door. All these boxes are sealed, so it keeps all that protected and away from moisture and dirt and all that stuff. So this is a really big truck. They're not super difficult to drive, but it can be a little intimidating since it's just a very massive truck to drive around, especially when you're in cities and driving around with a lot of people near you. So that's why the reason I brought you up here is my number 2 item is that this is an automatic transmission. You're just already driving such a large truck that it makes it really, really nice that this has an automatic transmission. Right here you can see it's just pretty simple. It has a reverse, neutral, and drive that makes it very easy to switch in between those, just like you would in a car. And then the only other thing you have to do is turn off the parking brake, and then you're good to go. So that makes it pretty simple to drive. It's a lot simpler than most people assume it is. My 3rd favorite thing about this truck is that it has a really big pass-through, which makes it really easy when you're going in between the cab here and back into the camper. So this pass-through is pretty big compared to the pass-throughs in a lot of different trucks. Again, there's a lot of people don't realize this, but there's a lot of pros and cons to pass-throughs. A lot of it is just that you hear all your dishes rattling, you lose some insulation. So if you're in really cold or really hot weather, your AC and your heat sometimes can't keep up as well. Even though we have that cushion that goes right there, you still lose a lot of that insulation. In this truck though, I happen to really like the pass-through. Because of the way this chassis is designed, it makes it really easy to get in and out. And this pass-through is just cut really big. So I'm 6'2" and I'm a pretty big guy. So on some of the other trucks where you're a little more limited on space, the pass-throughs can be really small and really kind of obnoxious to use. You end up not using them. But in this one, because you're just a two-seater, it makes it really easy to climb over that cushion. And again, like I said, it's cut so big that it makes it really easy to get in and out of the cab in the camper. Most of the time, it's way easier just to get out and come through the main door of the camper. So I'm not like a diehard on these pass-throughs like some guys are, where if a truck doesn't have one, it's like a complete deal breaker for them. It is just a little more convenient. Like this winter, we went camping, and it was in the middle of winter, tons of snow, and it was really cold, and I was with my wife and my young son. And for them, it's kind of nice because then when we get there, they don't have to put on shoes, or when we're leaving, same thing. If it's cold outside, it's easy just to climb through there, and makes it a little bit easier than having to get out into the weather. My fourth favorite thing about this truck is that it has running water. So I know running water in a truck like this is something that seems kind of obvious. It's something that all trucks like this should have. If they don't, then that's like a major design flaw. If you don't have running water and water tanks in something this large, it would just make sense. But the reason it's one of my favorite things is because most of my time spent in the outdoors, we are camping out of my truck. And so I have like one of those typical 5 to 7 gallon containers of water that have the little spigot on it. And you just use it the best you can to wash dishes and to wash your hands and fill up water. Just all the kind of things that you would use water for. And so to have running water in a sink is a really nice convenience when I do happen to be spending time in this truck. I mentioned earlier that I really like to cook when we're camping. So we try and keep dishes and stuff to a minimal. But it's just one extra layer of convenience to have a large galley sink like this. This thing is as big as the sink at my house. And so it's just really nice to have somewhere to put dishes, to have running water and a spout and a sprayer to clean dishes and to do whatever you need to here. Just a little bit more convenient than when you're just kind of traditionally camping out of a truck. All right, my fifth item that I want to show you in this truck is the bathroom and shower. So for one, it's just convenient having a nice cassette Dometic toilet and a shower at all. So that's just convenient no matter what. But what really makes this build unique is because we were able to do such a big camper on this truck, the shower area and the toilet and bathroom area is actually completely separate. So rather than it being what we call a wet bath, it's actually a dry bath, and then you have your own separate shower over here. Now, most trucks don't have the room to separate these, which is totally fine. The way they make these toilets and all the stuff in here can be pretty waterproof. Having a wet bath really isn't that big of a deal, just because it's nice to have a toilet and a shower still. This just adds, same thing as the running water, just one more level of comfort when you're out there. The biggest reason being is that if you take a shower, in this truck, this has a partition. It closes, and so all the wetness, all the water stays inside where the shower is. On the more traditional wet bath, it's coming right in here. It's coming right onto the toilet and everything. The toilet and everything is waterproof and meant for it, but the floor and the toilet will be a little bit wet after you're done showering. And so it's like one of those things that if you've showered, you put on socks or something and you come in to use the bathroom, your socks are going to get wet and the toilet's wet and a little bit uncomfortable. So that's why that's my fifth thing that I really like about this truck, is that you can take a nice hot shower. The system in here works great. And then your bathroom area is still dry afterwards. Well guys, that's just a few of my favorite things about this 6x6 Expedition truck. Thanks so much for watching the video today. Pretty soon we have a full build overview coming out of this truck. So obviously that like barely scratched the surface on anything to do with this build. So if you're curious about more about the chassis and things that we did to the cab, if you're curious about our entire custom living space here and everything that goes into it, keep an eye out for that video coming soon. Subscribe so that you can see it when we drop that video, and we'll catch you next time.